Welcome to Huffington Post. My name is Theo Randall and this is my recipe for the weekend. Now this recipe is super simple. It's basically baking a piece of fish in tin foil. But we're going to kind of create a little oven. So what we do is we get some tin foil and we're going to create a sort of fold it over so it becomes one big sheet. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the piece of salmon. Now this is organic salmon. It's so much better than the regular farm salmon. The best of all is obviously wild salmon, but it's unbelievably expensive. But organic salmon is very good. So get a bit of tin foil and fold it over. And we're going to create a kind of base like that. And then I'm going to just drizzle some olive oil on the bottom, basically just so it doesn't stick. And then we're going to get some potatoes. Now these are called pink fir potatoes, and we just want to take off the skins like so. So we're just going to peel them, and what we're going to do is we're going to put them on the bottom of the tin foil, and then we're going to put on top some fennel and some olives and some tomatoes and some capers and a little bit of garlic, and it's just all going to bake together really nicely. So I'll just peel these. Now these are just boiled in some boiling salted water. Okay, so that's probably enough potatoes. So we're just going to very simply slice our potatoes. So just cut them into 3. And then just start putting the potatoes on the bottom of the tin foil. Bit of salt, bit of pepper, cute. And then we get our fish, and we just put some olive oil on top. Again, a bit of salt and pepper, and we fill it down. Now you could do 2 in one go, but I'm just going to do 1 here. So, a few thin slices of garlic. And then we've got some olives, so we've just got these Tadjaska olives, lovely sort of black olive. Any kind of small, like a niçoise olive works really well. So a few olives, a few capers, these little baby capers. And then a couple of leaves of basil. Just sort of cut them in half, scatter them around. And then we've got some fennel. Now this is just basically Florence fennel or any kind of cultivated fennel, and I've just cut it in half, taken the outside bits off, cut it in half, cut the top off, cut it in half, and then just cut sort of half moons and blanch it in boiling salted water for 2 minutes. So we just sprinkle a few of this over. Make sure it's all sort of spread around. If it's too much on top of each other, it won't cook properly. And then a few of these little cherry tomatoes or datarini tomatoes. They're just going to kind of dissolve in there. And then that's kind of it. And we're going to, this is the tricky bit. So you want to just get the tin foil, fold it over, and then make sure you kind of seal it on each end. So really sealed. It's got to be completely airtight. So sealed that side, and then we just get some vermouth. So just a nice dry vermouth, and then a kind of probably say 3 capfuls. So 1, 2, 3. And at this point, you can see everything inside, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to push down and just seal it. Just to seal it on one side. So the idea is, if we're not quite sure whether it's cooked or not, we can open it up halfway through the cooking without ripping the bag, put a fork in there just to see if it's cooked. And if it's not cooked, then we just close it and it's seal it again. So it's like its own little oven. Pop it onto an oven tray. And we're going to put this in the oven about 180 degrees for, as it's sort of quite thin salmon, I would say 6 to 7 minutes, and that should be fine. Because remember, the potatoes cooked already. Okay, so that's been in the oven for actually about 10 minutes, not 7 as I said. So just depending on the thickness of the salmon, might take a little bit longer. Okay, so just at this point, open up the bag. Got to be quite careful because when we've got the potatoes and the fish is cooked, so it's quite delicate. And then we're just going to open the bag up. Now you could actually just serve it like this if you don't want to like use any plates, but it's a little bit difficult to eat. So just then pick up the potatoes. Then fish on top. And there you have a really simple baked salmon in tinfoil with potatoes, salmon, tomatoes, olives, and a bit of basil. And then just finish off that little bit of vermouth, makes a delicious, delicious dish.